for the America's Cup, could Australia be on the verge of announcing a challenge for sport's oldest prize? How a South African teenager overcame blindness to fulfill his love for football. And we'll take you horse racing for Lesotho's Independence Day. Welcome to Sportsworld, Al Jazeera's regular look at sport around the globe. I'm Sana Hamush. Australia could be about to re-enter the race for the oldest prize in sport, the America's Cup, provided the off-the-water wrangling comes to an end. Holders Alenge are locked in a legal dispute over regulations for the regatta, meaning the 33rd edition could be delayed by several years. Still, rumours are rife down under that the Aussies could be about to end a 9-year absence. Wayne Hay reports.
This is where America's Cup sailors go in between regattas. The world match racing circuit is where the best in the business ply their trade. And they don't come much better than veteran skipper Peter GILMOUR, a 4 times world champion. The Australian's also an old hand when it comes to the ultimate prize in match racing, the America's Cup.
I mean, I've been involved, sailed for 4 different nations, obviously for Australia, for Japan. I spent 7 years with the Japanese team, with the United States, with the One World team, and then recently with Switzerland with the Alenge team. And you know, that's a very broad range of experience in different America's Cups, seeing different philosophies and styles.
During last year's regatta, he was in a coaching role with Swiss outfit Alenge as they successfully defended the old mug against Team New Zealand. But he hasn't been involved with an Australian syndicate since he helmed the unsuccessful Spirit of Australia Challenge in San Diego in 1992. The 48-year-old wants that to change. He's excited by rumours of a fresh challenge from down under, and he says he'd love to be involved.
It'll be interesting to see if it comes to anything. I mean, a lot of people, a lot of business people having a look at it, trying to say, well, could we get back into this game after quite a few years of a break from it? And time will tell, but time is also one of the greatest, most expensive commodities you have in the America's Cup, and if you let too much run away from you, you're behind the 8 ball.
Ironically, they've been given some time by the wrangle that's going on between Alenge and American syndicate Oracle. The Americans have taken the Swiss to court, accusing them of changing the rules to suit themselves. What it means is that the next regatta scheduled for next year is likely to be delayed until 2011. That gives any new teams like Australia a bit of breathing space to come up with the millions of dollars required to launch a campaign. It also gives them more time to find and sign up sailing talent. To win the America's Cup, you need to know every single trick in the book. The problem with the Aussies at the moment is a lack of experience. They certainly have the talent coming through the ranks, but they need a few more years travelling the circuit doing tough match racing like this. Australia has a proud record in the Cup. In 1983, they became the first nation to take the prize away from the Americans. They lost it again 4 years later, with GILMOUR at the helm. The last time an Australian syndicate challenged was in 1999. The skipper of that team, called Young Australia, was a man by the name of James SPITHILL. He's gone on to forge a successful career with other teams and has signed with Oracle for the next regatta. But many regard this group as the ones to watch. Led by Perth's TORVAR MIRSKY, they could form the core of a future Aussie challenge.
The America's Cup's, the biggest highlight for sailing. I think, just about every non-sailor knows about America's Cup, and so we'd love to be involved with it and a part of it. But we are young guys, and hopefully we can prove ourselves, and a team would be like to have us on board.
Torvar's got great potential. He's got a cool head on his shoulders. I've spent a fair amount of time sort of coaching and just mentoring them generally, and I think they'll be really good, those guys.
Which is a relief for someone like GILMOUR, who's long lamented a lack of depth in Australian match racing.
One of the funny things happen for some reason is that in that post-87 America's Cup era in Fremantle, there was no follow-up with the next generation of kids getting into the sport. So, I mean, I'm nearing my 50s now, and there are no strong sailors in their mid to late 30s. So I think you're going to see a huge boom from these youngsters.
Included in that group is a 24-year-old from Sydney who goes by the name of Katie Spithill, the younger sister of James.
It's quite a bit of a joke. The girls often call me James' little sister rather than Katie, because that's how a conversation starts. You know, you get introduced as James' little sister.
But Katie is emerging from her brother's shadow. She's leading a crew on the women's match racing circuit. At the moment, they're preparing for the World Champs to be held in New Zealand in April. But they're keeping a very close eye on a proposed international women's America's Cup team.
We want to do it. Yeah, definitely. That's what we are hoping. There is a quiet America's Cup possibility for the females in the pipelines now. We hope to have that opportunity, but we wait and see. Until then, we'll continue with this circuit and see what happens.
Of course, competing in the Cup would mean racing against men, something they've done before, so they know what to expect and where they need to improve.
We are not as strong, you know, whilst we try to be, we're not all gorillas. So we do lack it there, especially in a bit of breeze. And I'm learning their style is different. They're a lot more aggressive than the women, which doesn't mean they're better, but it is different to get used to. I mean, some of the women are smarter without the aggression. But it's something to learn, and for us, I think we're getting the hang of it. We just need to be a bit fatter and stronger.
For now, it's a waiting game. The America's Cup is on hold indefinitely, but that's simply fueling the hunger of Australia's new breed. Peter Gilmour's seen and done it all before, and while he'd love to be involved in an Australian challenge again, that doesn't necessarily mean actually steering the boat.
One of the things that I've come to realise over my many years of both helming America's Cup teams and working in other capacities is that it's much more satisfying to be involved in a small part of a winning team than a big part of a losing team.
The Aussies would be wise to use the experience that Gilmour brings at both winning and losing. Wayne Hay, Al Jazeera.
Now, earning respect from teammates and opponents on a football field is never easy. 18-year-old DUMISANE NTOMBELA has done exactly that and won many fans for the way he plays and coaches the game. What makes it even more of an achievement is that he's blind. Rahul Pathak has more.
DUMISANE NTOMBELA loves playing football, just like millions of other 18-year-olds in South Africa. But his passion for the game is very unusual. DUMISANE is blind.
Take this ball and put into the plastic, and this ball makes a sound when go like this. You just hear the sound of the ball and follow the ball and follow the sound, you know.
The blind soccer fanatic has come a long way. His whole neighbourhood laughed at him when he started playing 10 years ago. Now he has earned the respect he craved.
I started the football in 1997, but I want to see me, the people see me growing up, don't see me stay like, hey, DUMISANE, how you start the football, now you are sitting, you are sit down, you do nothing. I tell you, the disabled people can't do nothing. I want to prove the people wrong.
At the age of 14, he started his own football club, the Silver Spears. Every day he coaches younger players after school. Their blind coach teaches them not only to play football, but also respect, and encourages team spirit in a rough township environment. DUMISANE has an assistant who guides him throughout the game. The players' voices and even his sense of smell help him to create a mental image of how the match is unfolding.
Yeah, I have a kind of picture in my mind because of I hear the sound of the ball, I know all the position, I know the voice of my players, and I know what's happening in the ground.
DUMISANE's life has been a struggle. He lost his sight to a disease at the age of 2 and has fought for recognition and respect as a footballer and coach without eyes since he was 8. On his 18th birthday, the South African state cut DUMISANE's disability pension and with it the club's finances. With very limited resources, his parents managed to keep the club going. While DUMISANE is the club's brains, his father and mother are its heart and soul. The blind and disabled don't usually receive much respect in these neighbourhoods, but DUMISANE has earned plenty.
The things he wants, he fight for them until he gets it, so that's why so many people respect him.
Respect may be important, but tactics and fitness are crucial for winning football matches. The over-14s are buoyed by news of a match with a club in Johannesburg. They need to prepare. Exercise and match practice have been missing due to a lack of shoes and the theft of the team's only ball. No clubs will come and play on their township pitch, but this game will be a rare opportunity for the Silver Spears, and one which prompted the entire neighbourhood to chip in and buy them a new ball. Highly motivated but extremely nervous, the Silver Spears take to the road for their first serious game in months, having raised the $50 for the bus hire. They've beaten their opponents several times in the past. But playing on grass is totally different from the hard, sandy, uneven ground in the township. The Johannesburg boys are fit, with far more match experience and keen to make up for their past defeats. In the end, the Silver Spears suffer a disappointing 7-1 defeat. With all that they've gone through to get here, even playing the match is a triumph. And the Silver Spears celebrate in style. Rahul Pathak, Al Jazeera.
Don't forget to have a look at our website aljazeera.net/English, where you can get all the latest sports news and find out more about the show. Stay with Sportsworld, because coming up, we'll take you horse racing for Lesotho's Independence Day.